Why do Iman Gadzhi's educational videos get millions of views and ours don't? We hustle and grind, pushing video after video from ourselves like that baby in the labor, and he generates $5 to $10 million a year with his educational products. It seems like without even trying. What's so different about him and his strategy that helps him generate millions that we can implement ourselves into our businesses? This is what I'm going to talk about today. So let's start with his product line. I believe that it's the best strategy to have one or a couple of products in the initial stages of any business. But when you become a whole conglomerate, as Iman Gadzhi is, you can generate the product line that meets people at every stage of their development. And that's very well thought through, because if you have so much traffic generated with your personal brand, people come to you at different stages of their goal. What I mean by that? Iman Gadzhi's educational products are mostly directed to people wanting to start their business, and in particular, social media marketing business. I mean, entrepreneurs who make content for others and sell that as an offer, or the ones who do ads for other people, or any other form of marketing. But there are people who only want to have like any business at all and don't have any high income skills. But there are also people who are more advanced in that journey, right? Who maybe already started selling their services, maybe freelancers in the initial stages of their agency creation. And there are people who are even more advanced in that journey. Only recently, Iman has started to create offer for this third bunch of people. So mostly his offers are for beginners and intermediate entrepreneurs in the marketing space. And I think it was very smart of him to start with the beginners. Here's why. For like the very beginners, he's got several products. First of all, his YouTube channel. Some people may not think that it's an actual offer, but I do think that it's a free product that serves its purpose. Second thing they have for beginners is Digital Launchpad, which is a collection of different courses and coaching programs for those who are starting their agency or their marketing business. Then, if you're more of a intermediate entrepreneur, that you pretty much know what you're doing, maybe you chose your niche already and you chose the high income skill that you're selling, I think you can move to his intermediate products in his product line, which is the Agency Accelerator and also his SaaS company, which is called Flowzy. It says it's a super app for anyone with clients. And in the moment of filming this, just a couple days ago, I saw a post where he said that he became a co-owner of another SaaS product. I don't know if you heard of that. I think that it's a very interesting pattern here. Did you notice that it's also similar to the story of Alex Hormozi, who's also acquired Skool? That's an interesting thing that's happening for SaaS products, I think. I'm realizing that if you want to be a huge SaaS company, probably just being a good product on its own is not that enough yet. Or at least like it's enough to hit a certain level of success as a SaaS company. But what's really transformative for those SaaS companies is connecting to a strong personal brand. If you have a good SaaS product, plus you attach a big, strong, good, like positivity vibe sending personal brand to it, you become just invincible. One of my clients is a SaaS founder, and like the majority of their customer base is coming from the social media of that client I have. So I think it's a very powerful tool for SaaS companies, from what I see is going on in the market, to collaborate with certain personal brands or to build personal brands on their own. For example, when a founder or a CEO or anybody who they chose to be a face of that SaaS company appears on camera on YouTube, on LinkedIn or anywhere where their customer base is, shows their product, shows off their features and shows their values as well, to build a strong personal brand, which multiplies the success level of SaaS companies. So if you have a SaaS product, I think that it makes all the sense in the world for you to start developing personal brand right now, as Iman did, as Alex did, as my client as well did. Some other examples of how personal brand enhanced and multiplied SaaS company is Neil Patel, for example, with his SaaS platform for SEO optimization. Or for example, Russell Brunson, whose ClickFunnels is one of the most popular marketing tools. As to the other products of Gadzhi, he's also got IAG Media, that was his initial agency that was doing marketing for e-commerce business owners, as far as I remember. As well as, after a certain stage of success, when you have a whole bunch of traffic on your personal brand, he's got e-com brands, that's drink and eyewear. It makes a lot of sense if you have a huge subscriber base to create an e-com brand. There's already like a gigantic amount of people who just wants to buy at least something from you. And also, after you've built a strong personal brand that conveys certain messages really well, people are nurtured super well to buy a certain product from you. So, as a result of this product line, Iman's courses and platforms sell for anywhere between $1,000 and like $1,500 per person. It's estimated that he's generating $5 to $10 million a year just selling the info products he has. So after we know how exactly Iman is making his money, let's talk about how exactly he's doing it. And also what mistakes I think he has that could be improved to convert more people. Well, obviously his YouTube channel is printing for him. In particular, a certain way he's creating his VSLs. VSL is a video sales letter that people usually place on their landing pages. I do that. But you know what I find is very interesting about his brand is that his VSL is just out there on YouTube, gaining thousands of views a day. That was a very smart move, I think. Instead of just placing your VSL on your landing page where just a few people will see it, how about just posting it on YouTube where the algorithm can push it if it's optimized well, and as many people as possible will eventually see it. But your VSL can't be just anything if you really want to gain more views on it, on YouTube in particular. Iman's VSLs do not sell. That's very interesting because the majority of the video, like 95% of the video, is just educational. And the other part is a call to action that would say to actually do something about it, maybe go to an event, or there are other ways that he funnels those people who come to his VSLs.
The choice is yours, really. So if you want to learn how to start a $10,000 a month agency from scratch, click the button below this video and get lifetime access to Agency Navigator now.
And I'll tell about those exact funnels he uses in a minute. But for now, let's sum it up. He uses his YouTube, which is a powerful tool to help you be discovered. Its algorithm is insanely good and it's working super well for you if your videos are good, interesting, and well optimized packaging-wise. Second, he's not only posting just general YouTube videos, he's posting his exact VSL there instead of just hiding it on the landing page. In one of his videos, he says that his legendary VSL generated him 20 million views.
This VSL amassed 9.5 million views, grew my channel by 184,000 subscribers, and paid me $250,000 in YouTube AdSense. But most importantly, it put $20 million in my pocket.
That's what you can do with the power of YouTube and video content creation skills. His VSL that actually sells on YouTube, his educational offers, is not actually a sales letter only. It's most importantly an educational piece of content that provides value to viewers first, before asking for something. Now, another thing that sets him apart from all the other educational programs in online business is that he started a long ago. You know, like it's a big pain for me sometimes when people come to me, they want to somehow collaborate and have me help them develop their presence on YouTube. And they're like, can we generate 30 clients for me with our next video? And I'm like, it's not particularly how it's working. You need time, you need to be very patient. And it's not only about YouTube. You need to be patient with email marketing, you need to be patient with SEO, you need to be patient with live streams if you do them and sell through them. Like with the whole personal brand story, you need to be very patient. And if you're not, planning to be, I think that the only thing that can work for you is maybe ads, if your offer is already validated. But if you wanna, at some point, not rely solely on ads and be a go-to person in your niche, you do need a personal brand, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, like whatever platform you choose, it takes time. And Iman Gadzhi proves that because he started long ago. His first video was published like 9 years ago, I guess. But the moment when Iman started to actually attract his potential customers was around 7 years ago. So he took 2 years on figuring out what exactly to do on this platform, like what exactly I'm gonna sell. But he was so smart to already do that, even though he wasn't sure back then what exactly he would like offer to people or sell them. So yeah, it does make sense to start creating your personal brand as soon as fucking possible, even if you're not sure about anything yet. And looking at his first videos, they were actually very minimal. They didn't have fancy editing. They didn't have like some amazing flashy design styles as well. They didn't have any like magnificent lighting, it was just sun. He also had very simple thumbnails. Even though thumbnails and titles are extremely important on YouTube, they make or break your YouTube video, they still can be simply done. So it's not another excuse to not start YouTube, I think. This is how big businesses are built. They're starting with what they have. But what exactly was the breaking point for Iman that transformed Iman from a small YouTuber into being a gigantic personal brand with millions of views a video? Yeah, I just said that you can start with what you have, your thumbnails don't matter that much and your editing doesn't matter that much, but that breaking point that was for Iman is the moment when he started to optimize his packaging. His thumbnails started to be professionally edited. And also I believe they were done with research made beforehand. It wasn't only just his face and a certain text on his thumbnails, even though yes, this can bring a certain amount of views. But he improved that a ton, seeing that packaging is what's most important on YouTube. So he started to create very compelling thumbnails and titles, featuring what people actually want to see in that video. Another thing that made him blow up was just the whole strategy. It became broader. So if before he was creating videos for SMMA business owners or how to start SMMA, he started to create videos that are very broader than that. For example, how reading a book a week changed my life. That's applicable to a lot more people than to just people who already decided that they want to start an SMMA. Or for example, richest person in history shares 3 success secrets. That's also appealing to a lot of people, not only to those who want to start an SMMA. Or 7 life lessons, very broad topic. Things rich people do differently. Very broad topic. So that was a very strategic and very smart move to not narrow your audience if you have a B2C offer in particular. It's important to remember. But to appeal to a larger audience, to meet them even before on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur. And this is how you can capture a lot more people, and it doesn't mean that they are ready to make a decision to buy from you right away, right? If I saw a video on like what rich people do differently, that's very unlikely that I choose to, start my business right away. He knew that it was a long-term game. It was a nurturing game. Because after that, I watched another video of his, and another video of his, and another video of his, and I'm like, what should I do to become one of those people who he presents in his videos, or the one who he has become? And then with a very smart funnel, he invites people to watch his VSL, which is basically an educational course around why SMMA is the best business in whatever year that is. And after that, he's selling me the course on how to become an SMMA agency. I don't really think that it particularly works for B2B offers, but if you are creating products for directly clients, not businesses, it makes sense to go broader. At least that's what Iman did, and it worked for him perfectly. That's what helps him generate millions of views a video and make people share them so that the algorithm pushes it further. It's all about how you structure content, not even how valuable it is. So first, he's got a hook. Usually it's a bold claim or a certain question to grab attention.
The first raw truth is that 80% of success is timing. Now, most successful people won't admit that though. They're gonna tell you that the reason they succeeded was due to all of the hard work that they put in.
It often is accompanied by very compelling visuals like editing, or overall, he's usually sitting in a very nice place and looking professionally. That's, I think, something that all of us can do. Just look professional in the videos. Then he shares credibility, and that's very important to share why people should listen to you, as well as he uses storytelling to showcase his credibility. So you see the difference. A lot of us are saying just, I generated millions of dollars for my clients. This is why you should listen to me while I talk about how you can set your Facebook ads account. So yeah, that makes sense. That's better than nothing for sure. But what Iman does is he talks about his credibility through storytelling. For example, I started as a kid with a single mom. I had nothing, but then I worked hard. Like, he does show his credibility through storytelling, through showing the ups and downs of his journey. And this is how he makes people relate to him. The same thing is done by Sabri Subi. Have you seen, like, I think this picture of his showing how he's sitting by the table and trying to like get some clients for his agency. And he shares his story, even though he's got a B2B offer. It comes up in my head every time I think about Sabrasubi. So storytelling is a very powerful technique to show your credibility, not to make it simply dry and boring, but to make people actually relate to you. Then he shares some social proof in the form of showing some famous figures or maybe his friends that are also doing something in the business space. And this is how you can also showcase your social proof, especially if you, for example, for some reason cannot share your clients' details. Another thing he does is educating, not selling. Especially now he's starting to make like very long videos and educate people throughout the whole video and making a very short CTA. Then he's got call to action. They can be different depending on like what works best to funnel people to becoming your customers. Okay, these were some like nitty-gritty details, but I want us a little bit to zoom out and talk about the overall strategy of Iman Gadzhi's personal brand, not only for his YouTube channel. Because I think this is something that is so compelling about him that makes people buy right away after seeing his ad or a YouTube video. And it's the clear idea of his ICP. ICP stands for Ideal Client Profile. It can also be client avatar, like many ways to call that, but the thing is, he knows his target audience. It's young people, usually young men, that dream of certain things. The powerful thing he does is that he uses and shows those things that people want. I see that often we only use dry numbers to help people make a very logical, right decision about purchasing from us. But some people, actually a lot of people, are not logically driven when buying things. And this is exactly what target's audience of Iman is like. If he makes a video of how to make 10K a month, yes, that's obviously a compelling thing to offer, right? But you know what's even more compelling? Buying his mom a car. Both of these things, like make 10K a month and buy your mom a car, they represent the same thing. It's wealth. He sells wealth. He doesn't sell his educational products. He sells what stands behind that. So if you get educated, if you become at a certain level of the skill, you can get all those nice things that you want. And he could do this in a dry manner, just talking about numbers, or he could visualize this all, having nice cars, nice watches, nice places to show off to make people more nurtured and more warmed up toward his offer, because it showcases exactly what people want. I want to repeat that it works perfectly for B2C offers, but it may not work so well for B2B offers, because business owners are usually driven by ROI and like certain exact numbers that you can help them achieve, but they're not that driven by the visuals, because I don't know why. Maybe you can share in the comments why business owners are less attracted by the visuals, by the wealth in its like most common format, but they're more numbers driven. Let me know. But as Iman sells to young people usually who want to just start their business, who are in the beginning stages of entrepreneurship, it makes all the sense in the world for him to showcase as much of the things that represent wealth as possible. So if you have a similar offer, think about like showing off some of the flashy things. Yeah, some say that it's not working anymore, but you know what? It does. Okay, let's be honest. If you show that you have a nice car or a nice watch, people are like, huh, maybe I want to listen to them. So maybe it's not even, you know, a splurge, but a business investment to buy an expensive car. I don't know, what do you think? We are finally moving to his funnels. Oh my god, this video is getting so long, but I feel like there are so many insights that we can get from it. So his funnel is very simple. His YouTube videos that lead people mostly to his VSL, that's also on YouTube, right? And that VSL usually directs people to a certain event. They realized that events sell really well. They even invited people to the events in their ads. So I saw his ads on Google and all of them were inviting people to an event. So I think that's a great funnel that helps him sell a lot. As the other call to action in his funnel, he's asking people to DM him on Instagram. And I think that's where the problem is. Now, I started to go through this funnel. Let me just roast him a little bit right now, because I had a bad experience texting him and going through his funnel with texting coach or personal brand or anything in his DMs. So what I was expecting is that at least they would ask for my contact, or maybe they would offer me a lead magnet to give me more value so that I get more nurtured towards whatever he's selling, right? But you know what happened? It was really disappointing. I wrote coach as he was asking in one of his videos, and first of all, the timing was very slow. Like, messaging was spread through several days, and I'm already cold, you know? If after watching that video I was so warm, I was ready to buy something, maybe, like, yeah, I'm a potential client, right? After a few days of us trying to text, I was like, you know what, I'm not interested anymore. I wonder, why do they do that? They have so many leads that they just don't know what to do with them? Or it's just a really big hole in a funnel that really just flushes the potential leads down to the toilet. Not the toilet, but down the online social media hole, I guess. It doesn't even have to be a real conversation. It could be just, give me some lead magnet, give me some value, or certain landing page even. They were asking in the last message, like, did you ever look into Agency Accelerator and monetize to get some additional coaching from me and my team? You know what? I have no idea what these are. I mean, I have because I researched it, but as a new customer, I have no idea what Agency Accelerator and monetize is. So he's just throwing this random names at me, assuming I already know about them. I'm immediately turned off. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, you think that everybody already knows about you so well that you don't even send a link to anything that you talk about in your messaging? I don't know. In my opinion, that was a huge mistake. That's not helping him to get even more clientele. As to another thing that I found weird was 2 Instagram pages. Why is this a problem? So first page is just, I guess, personal, where he posts like a few times a year with some maybe a photo or a message. And there's another page that's called Iman Gadzhi Reels that has Reels on it. And I wonder, why not create one Instagram page for that? I was texting with ChatGPT about it, and you know, he said some reasons that he could do that, and I didn't buy any of those reasons. Yeah, I realized that there are some pros for this. So one of the pros is that you divide different behavioral patterns, right? For one channel, you want to keep people subscribed, but only those people who are not maybe super interested in constant content and a certain vibe of this like flashy and luxurious lifestyle. And on the other page, Iman Gadzhi Reels, you showcase like a lot of content with a certain vibe and message he usually does, which is his luxurious lifestyle that most of his customers want. But I wonder, why still not make it one page? Do you think people would really unsubscribe if they saw some content that they didn't like? I don't know, why make 2 Instagram pages? Tell me. I think that if he made this all on one page, it would have grown exponentially way faster. It would have like maybe 10 million subscribers right now, because he would combine all those efforts onto these 2 channels. So that's my take on this. But another pro that 2 Instagram pages has is that it's safer. If one of your Instagram pages gets blocked, or like something happens to it, or it gets hacked, you have another one. And in this instance, yeah, I think that's a very strategic and smart move to just secure your business. But on the other hand, people get lost in the funnel. So people come to your reel, they see no other funnel in the description, in your bio, only a link to another page, and you go to that other page and there are no other links to go through, even though I wanted to buy something from you. Like, maybe that's a filtering system as well. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. Oh my, that was a very difficult breakdown, and I didn't even go through his new offer for 6 and 7 figure businesses to go to the next level, which he has started to promote, I think not that long ago, on a new YouTube channel. But I'm not gonna get into this today. We're talking all about B2C offers, so if you have one, I think there's a ton of lessons that you can take from this video. And if you want me to help to develop your YouTube channel, you can book a call with me by the link in the description, and we'll work through the whole strategy for your business to make it more successful and sustainable with the power of personal brand. And I hope you have the most wonderful day. Goodbye.